Hey guys, it's Christy, and today I am here for a Money and the Law of Attraction reading. I'm going to draw several cards from my deck. We'll draw the first one, talk about the messaging, and then get some clarification on it. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave some comments after the video to see what kind of results you may get. So I got some messaging here. I actually got 3 cards, so we're going to go one by one. The universe decided that that's how many cards we need today. So here we go. The first one is, I can earn money by doing what I love to do. There's our card, and I've never gotten this one before. This is fantastic. I love when I get new cards. Okay, so as you practice your more positive, better feeling story, in time your pleasure will become the dominant vibration within you. And then as you couple your pleasure with your means of earning, the two will blend perfectly and enhance each other. Wow, that's a great way to start this message. So the better feeling story, I think that the universe is encouraging us to write for ourselves, is where we should begin, because they're saying as you practice your more positive, better feeling story. So I recommend actually writing your story the way that you want it to be. So that would be a great first practice. Sit down, grab your notebook and your pen, scrap piece of paper and a crayon, whatever it is, and start writing your financial story of the way that you earn money the way you would like it to be. Because the main message of the card is, I can earn money by doing what I love to do. Decide what that is for you. Write a story about it, about what your days look like when you're doing what you love to do and earning money doing it. And start adding in the details of how you want that to look, how you want to feel. And then from that vantage point, you will feel the pleasure of having that experience. And when you couple your pleasure with your means of earning, the two will blend perfectly and enhance each other. So there is no better way to earn money than to do things you love to do. Money can flow into your experience through endless avenues. It is not the choice of the craft that limits the money that flows, but only your attitude toward money. Okay, so then that begs the question of changing our attitude toward money, because a lot of times we have these old beliefs ingrained in us. We have certain ideas about money that will actually put up walls to money. We can say the words, I would like more money, but while we're saying that, we're focused on the lack of having what we want. So how do we get out of this? Let's read our next card. My life is as good as I allow it to be. Oh my goodness. Okay, so their encouragement here is to allow your life to be like the story you wrote of how you want it to be. So many people focus upon unwanted things. That's what we were just talking about. A lot of times we're saying, I want this, but what we're really thinking is, I don't have it. And then we are also focused upon unwanted things. So we're seeing in our experience things that we don't like, but then we're focusing our energy there. We need to withdraw our energy from those things that are unwanted. Focus it on that story of what we want. And then we will start to realize a better vibration. Okay, so with no deliberate attention to the emotional guidance within them, and then they try to compensate for their lackful thinking with physical action. Okay, this is a lot because this is how a lot of us live day to day. So we're focusing upon unwanted things. We don't deliberately set our attention on our own emotions. Emotional guidance has been a big subject in my readings lately. Paying attention to how you're feeling, and not so that you could say, oh, I'm feeling bad, this is not a good thing. Discover why you're feeling that way, because it always comes from a certain way of thinking. What are you thinking about when you notice that you're feeling bad? What were you thinking about? I'm broke. Maybe you're thinking that. And so you feel this, or I don't have enough, or I don't have what I want. Any of these thoughts in our minds in the background are influencing our vibration, which is influencing our emotions. Pay attention to your emotions. So they're saying we're focusing on the unwanted, we're not focusing on our emotional guidance, and then we're trying to compensate by acting, by working hard, and instead we can turn our focus to what is wanted. Pay attention to our emotions as guidance. And then we can take inspired action instead of that hard action. We're going to be inspired to take action. And typically, when you take an inspired action, it's actually something that gives you passion, gives you more energy. Okay, and because of the misalignment of energy, they do not get results from their actions. So then they try harder by offering more action, but still things do not improve. And what this makes me think of is that they are talking about people who may be feeling burnt out. Because if you're on this path right here, especially when it comes to, relationships or earning money, any of the big things in our lives that take up a lot of our time and our effort, we are offering this action that will burn us out, and then we're depleted and we have nothing else to give. And so what they're encouraging us here is focusing on wanted, raising that vibration, and writing that story the way that you want it to be. That right there will give you some good momentum toward what you do want. So, like the air you breathe, abundance in all things is available to you. Your life will simply be as good as you allow it to be. Okay, so how are we going to allow it? First, we have, I can earn money by doing the things that I love. My life is as good as I allow it to be. So what is the next message? My every story is attracting its vibrational match. And this is where the reading started and now where it is ending. So let's see what the message here is. This is the card. I don't think I've gotten this one before either, which is really great. Because it ties in perfectly with this message, of course. It always does. It's coming from the universe, so how could it not? Every thought that you think is vibrating at a very personal frequency, and by the powerful law of attraction, the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. That thought is now attracting another thought that is its vibrational match. So this is where the powerful thought is so important, because one thought leads to another thought, and that thought's going to match the first one. So if you find yourself honoring your emotional guidance and you're feeling in a negative emotion about your finances, go back to that story you wrote. Lift your thoughts, lift your spirits, and stay there long enough for another thought to come match it. And before you know it, you have a string of thoughts that are encouraging your vibration in a more abundant manner. Okay, so, and now those combined thoughts are vibrating at a frequency that is higher than the thought that came before. And they will now, by the law of attraction, attract another and another and another until eventually the thoughts will be powerful enough to attract a real life situation or manifestation. Okay, so we've had a lot of this message as well in recent readings. And that is that your now is a result of what you've been thinking, feeling, and vibrating in the past. So your now is a jumping off point for your future. And when it comes to finances and money and abundance, I think it's really important here that we start practicing what the universe is telling us. starting with writing your story the way you want it to be. Then you're going to honor your emotional guidance and let it guide you to thoughts that help you feel good, happy, abundant. And then you will take the inspired actions from there. And make sure you're doing things that are going to encourage that raising of vibration. I always encourage getting out in nature, doing creative pursuits, whatever that is for you. Get creative. Go online and, say, hey, how can I get creative to raise my vibration today? And you'll get answers. Do what you can in your now to raise that vibration, knowing you are creating your future right now. Read that story over and over again. Write that story, first of all. Make sure you sit down, take the time. Even if you just write down the basics of what you want your future life to look like, then come back to it. Read that, add some details into it. Make sure you're doing this when you're in a good mood. And then you will start to raise your vibration, tell a new story, and now you will know how to deliberately do things right now to make a different future for yourself. So I hope you will take the encouragement of the universe and practice some of these things and let me know how it turns out for you. I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers, guys.